Man, I got so drunk last night I almost forgot my name. What was it again? Oh, right. My name is Jack. It's really hard to adjust to this college since I had to leave my hometown to come here. I've been pretty lonely. I got up and looked around. I picked up some flyers on the side table. There's some cool looking places to hang out here. Maybe I should head to one of these places tonight. But which one? I guess I'll go to the nightclub. I put on a nice outfit, revealing in all the right places, and I went out for the night. After waiting in that line, I walked into the club. The music was pretty loud, but I pushed past waves of people to the bar. It seemed like I ended up in front of a bartender every night these days. Rum and Coke, please. A bit early for rum, don't you think? I looked over to my side and noticed a man stirring his drink next to me. I guess you're right. Oh, he smiled at me. I'm not here to judge you. Oh, sorry, it's been a rough week. It happens to the best of us. Didn't know this guy, but he seemed nice enough. Hey, my name's Jack. It's nice to meet you. My name's Sano. He took my hand and rubbed his thumb across the top of my skin. His hands were cold and firm. I looked up at him, and he looked right into my eyes. That gray steel color piercing right through me. What's wrong? Nothing. I'm just wondering something. Ask. Can you tell me more about yourself? Huh? Why would you want to know more about me? Well, I'm not that interesting. You look like you have a story to tell. Not too much to say. I'm going to school to become a doctor. Whoa, you must be pretty smart. Sano shrugged his shoulders. Intelligence is relative. I'm just doing something I like. That sounds pretty awesome, man. Sano looked down at his watch and then looked at me. It's getting late. I better head back. Oh, so soon? Yeah. Med class starts tomorrow. Sure. I understand. It was nice meeting you, Sano. You too. Sano slid off the bar stool and walked into the crowd. I watched Sano leave. Inside. I got up to dance by myself and bumped into somebody. Hey, you alright? I didn't even see you there. No, I'm fine. I thought you just left. Uh-huh. He turned his head and looked in the direction that Sano walked in. Oh, you were just talking to Sano. Right. My name's Akira. He's my twin brother. He flashed me a cute smile and I smiled back. He looked just like Sano. I gotta head back to the DJ booth. Maybe we can play together some other time. Akira smiled at me and rubbed his hand across his chin. That might be fun. I'm just wasting time. I didn't want to wait for that guy. I was just gonna head home. I finally left that nightclub. You're mine. Just as I heard the familiar voice, something felt like it hit me. It just faded to black. It was dark when I woke up. I shifted my wrist to see if I could move, as something stopped me. It felt like leather, and it held me down to what I was laying on. Hello? I called into the darkness. The light was bright as it flashed into my eyes. I could barely see anything. I saw an arm in the darkness pull the light out of my face and into the rest of the room. Where am I? You're in my medical bay. I watched as the tall man leaned over me. What's going on? Sano sat down in a chair near me. You want to know what's happening? I'm going to be frank with you. Sano looked at his clipboard and put it on his lap. I'm going to examine you, and you won't survive the process. I took a moment to think about what Sano just said to me. He couldn't be serious. What? I kept my eyes on him. I said nothing. Sano took a seat near me. So, tell me your medical history. Any genetic disorders you might have? He was acting as if this was all normal. Please tell me this isn't your idea of dating. Sano looked at me, deadpan. Funny. Sano pulled out a knife and plunged it in my shoulder, twisting the blade. I let out a blood-curdling scream as he twisted. He looked like he wasn't even trying, but the force was pinning me to the table. I'm sure you can use your sense of humor to help yourself soon. Sano ripped the knife from my shoulder. I let out another scream as I breathed hard. Disc. Panicking. The blue fire surrounded Sano's hand as he burned the wound shut. Please, shut your mouth. I felt the room spinning as the searing pain entered my shoulder. My eyes rolled into the back of my head and I passed out. Sano pulled out a needle and tapped it. I gulped. He didn't know what was in the needle. I gave him a dirty look. He was probably going to kill me anyway, so what was I going to lose? Sano tapped my arm and pushed up his glasses. Small veins. Have you been drinking enough water? Sano looked over his glasses at me in an accusatory fashion. I can't drink water when I'm tied up. Sano made a face, then let out a low chuckle. He leaned over, putting his hand on my forehead. Aren't you the smartest ass here? Maybe I can just inject this right into your eye. I twitched. I tried to pull away. I could see the liquid leaking out of the tip of the needle. No! What can I do here? You look away. I could feel Sano looming over me, getting closer with the needle. Sano aimed the needle at the eye and smirked at me. He pushed the needle into my eye, and I screamed. Almost done. It felt like my eye was going to explode out of my skull. I let out another scream as I gripped the straps around my arms. Now, that wasn't so bad, was it? Sano patted my face as he went back to his tray. I felt blood dripping out of my eye. Just wanted to pass out. I felt more alert than ever. Sano watched me as my breath slowed down. How are you feeling? I couldn't say anything. I could just look at him. Can't talk, huh? Sano turned my head towards him and started to cut into my skin. It hurt like any deep cut would, but I couldn't scream. I couldn't even look away. Sano cut into my forearm and opened it up. It's not unheard of, you know, examining live people for scientific purposes. What was he talking about? Was that what he was doing this for? Sano pulled the tendons in my arm out of the skin and looked at them. Spending too much time on the computer, huh, Jack? A sadistic smile forced Sano's lips as he yanked the tendons harder. I stared at Sano, begging him with my eyes to let me go. Sano looked up at me and tilted his head to the side. Had enough? I wanted to nod, but all I could do was stare at him. Sano stood up and put his hand out. An odd blue light and letters I couldn't understand floated around his hand. I looked at my wrist, and it seemed to fix considerably. Sano looked over at me and patted my head. Sano bandages the rest of my wound carefully. I watched him unstrap my legs and felt a bit of relief. He walked to his desk and took a seat, writing in his notebook casually. He was done with me, for now, so remained motionless. I started to get the feeling back in my body. I pulled my legs up. Sano looked up at the movement. That's a good idea. You wouldn't want to get DVT now. I think that's the least of my worries. Sano laughed and looked back at his papers. In this situation, I would say that's valid. He spoke to me so casually. He was almost talking to a friend. I knew better than that. I'm tired. I did just cut you open. Can't say I'm shocked. He did just cut me open. I turned my head to my arm. Can I sleep? I'm not stopping you. I'm just working. He was right. I closed my eyes and tried to sleep. It was hard to sleep. It was getting really warm in the room. Maybe I should try to do something else. I looked up at the corner of the room. Sano was in the corner lighting something on fire in the furnace. I asked for something to put me to sleep. I couldn't sleep. It was just getting hotter. Excuse me. Sano walked over to me and leaned over me. What is it? I can't sleep. I'm so tired. I have work to do. I can't attend to you right now. Sano picked up his needle from a tray and aimed it at my neck. It's not often that people trust me to inject them. You don't know what could be in this needle. Sano smirked and injected me. He was right. What if he was just trying to kill me? Wait. Good night. It was so hot when I woke up. I could barely breathe. Are you awake? I opened my eyes and looked at the man across the room. Sano was looking at me, the blue fire reflecting on his glasses. What are you doing? I started to cough and felt weak. I'm turning up the heat! As he spoke, I felt the heat bounce off the walls. I regretted speaking. I watched the haunting blue flames bounce off his hand and into the room. I could see why the walls were concrete now. Are you giving up on me, Jack? I couldn't stand the heat. I felt like an oven. Stop. Sano looked over, narrowing his eyes. Is that all you can handle? I wasn't sure how to answer. All I could do was panic. My breathing starting to get more rapid as the room started to swim. You are quite useless, aren't you? Ugh. John! A large gray monster wandered into the room, and I leaned back into the spot and gasped. I don't have use for you any longer. Dispose of them. The monster walked over to me and leaned down. I could feel his teeth ripping through my flesh as the monster ripped my intestines from me. Good boy. I was scared. I didn't want to panic anymore. I bit my lip and tried to calm myself. Sano watched me and got closer, his hands still ablaze. Nothing to say. Sano grabbed my legs and burned my skin. Still nothing? I didn't want to cry. He didn't look like he was in the mood to hear it. Sano looked at me and pulled his hands away from my legs. I closed my eyes and laid back. I felt the room closing in. I could feel myself passing out again. I opened my eyes and looked around. It had cooled down from the hellfire earlier. Sano must have opened the door for a while I was passed out. I could see Sano in the corner looking at the melted things on his desk. Catch your breath and rest. Sano wasn't done with me. I could tell by the way he was acting. I turned my head away from him, closed my eyes tight. Maybe I could get my breathing under control. It was still pretty hot in the room. It was cooling down. I spaced out for a few minutes, looking at the ceiling. It was quiet. I narrowed my eyes and turned my head to Sano. He was sitting, but his head was down on his desk. Was he sleeping? I stayed on the table. I was too tired. I couldn't bring myself to try to get out of bed. I closed my eyes and sighed. It felt like hours of dead silence as Sano moved around the room. He didn't even turn on the light. Maybe he was just accustomed to working in the dark. I could hear him pull something metal out of his drawers. Sano approached, looking at me. He seemed to be studying my facial features. Tell me something, Jack. I could hear Sano speaking through the darkness, and I swallowed hard. Do you know what a prefrontal lobotomy is? I took a hard gulp and opened my mouth to speak, but he stopped me. Basically, you take something like this. Sano lifted up an ice pick and waved it. I saw it glinting in the darkness. And, through the eye, I can separate the prefrontal cortex from the other portions of your brain. Why was he telling me this? Sano dragged the tip of an ice pick up my leg, and I shuddered. The cold, sharp tip scraped against my skin. It was very common practice, especially in the 19th century. Since depression and anxiety were considered mental disorders back then. Sano looked at me over his glasses, narrowing his eyes with his grin. So, have you been feeling some anxiety? Maybe you've been depressed. What are you talking about? Sano leaned in and flicked my nose. I'm talking about. He aimed the ice pick at my eye. Trying out this barbaric form of neurosurgery on you. He smirked and tilted his head to the side. Sano pushed the tip of the ice pick into my cheek, digging deep. I let out a gasp as I felt a drop of blood dripping down my cheek. I want to take care of you after all. I am your doctor. This is insane. You can't be serious. How unsightly. He looked at the side and thought to himself, you won't make a good doll like this. Sano stood up and picked up the ice pick. I'll get rid of your repulsive behavior. What are you talking about? I'm going to make you all better. I clamored to get away. Sano quickly strapped me down. Sano strapped my head to the table, and the ice pick loomed over my eye. I shut my eyes hard, and Sano let out a sigh. This is the type of behavior I was hoping to remove. Sano forced my eye open. I couldn't pull away as he pushed the pick above my eye. I could feel something break in my head as he pushed past the skull. I let out a loud scream, and he started to dig around in my head. It was hard to think straight as he dug. I could feel the tip of the pick pull out of my skull, and I looked up at him. That's better. He slid his hand on my face. So, I hit. Don't worry. I'm almost done. Sano lifted up my other eyelid and pushed the pick into my head. I didn't feel anything. I guess I have been feeling some anxiety. Really? Sano took a seat, looking at me. Why don't you tell me more about it? I shifted nervously. I was worried that if I didn't choose my words carefully, he'd hurt me. I've been pretty lonely. Seems pretty normal of somebody your age to be lonely. Lost connections with people you may have known. School or work taking your time. Is it necessary for you to have friends? Well, I'd like to have friends. Is that why you go to bars and nightclubs? To find people to talk to? Or are you just seeking friends to cover the rampant alcoholism you possess? Maybe a bit of both. At least you're being honest with me. Sano tapped the tip of the ice pick on my leg and smirked. I cringed in pain as a bubble of blood appeared where he was poking. Well, because you were so cooperative, I won't be scrambling your brains. Good job. I woke up the next day with my arms straight, and I was looking around. Sano was looking into an extra large needle. There were a few round things in the needle floating gently in the liquid. Good morning. Oh, what are you doing? I'm growing tired of this game. Sano leaned over and shook the needle in my face. One more experiment. Sano pushed the needle into my chest, injecting the liquid into me. I screamed loudly as I felt the pressure of the injection in my chest. I looked around, breathing harder, and looked at Sano. What's going on? Don't worry about it. I watched Sano pull out some hair clippers and began shaving my head. What are you doing? I started to scream, but the room started to pulse. Everything was moving around. I wasn't even sure what I was seeing anymore. The walls were moving. There, something in the darkness beyond Sano. Sano looked at me, confused. What are you seeing? I don't know. What is this? Oh, has the medicine taken effect? What's going on, Sano? I could feel something cutting through my skull. It didn't hurt anymore. I watched things move around the room. Sano. Yeah. The room is moving. Tell me what you're seeing. I don't know. I could feel something scratching in my skull. The scratching! I screamed loudly as I heard something pop in my head. I felt legs walking on my forehead. Oh, new babies. Sano leaned over me and held out a centipede. Thank you. You incubated them well. My screams started to fade as Sano watched the insect crawl on his hand. Hey, thank you for watching. I'm Jack, the voiceless narrator, and this was Boyfriend to Death, made by the same person that made Price of Flesh Shadow Bob. She has a Patreon. It'll be down in the description. Consider supporting her. She makes great games that I'm playing, so I want to send some support her way. This was a little bit of a longer video compared to what I usually upload, and I can plan on continuing it because after this I'm feeling more confident in my own abilities. I feel I'm definitely getting better, and well, that's about it. I'll see you guys next time.